Well, one of my favorite days of work ever was the day I hopped on a Zodiac and rode out to spend the day on a gorgeous tall ship off the coast of Victoria, British Columbia. I think everybody should have a job like that. Fortunately, I wasn't there just for fun, but I was there to do a story on an innovative outreach that mentors young people. It's really life-changing, and here to tell us about it is Joanna Albers. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
The coolest thing about this, well, first of all, let's talk about the program. So it's called S.A.L.T.S. What does that stand for?
So it stands for Sail and Life Training Society.
And what is it?
So it's a program that has young adults come onto a tall ship. They have two currently, the Pacific Swift and Pacific Grace, and they disembark on 10-day journeys throughout the summers, and in the springtime they have schools go there for 5-day trips. And it's just a time to be together and learn how to sail a tall ship and to learn sail handling and all that kind of stuff, and really get to know those that are on the boat with you.
It's just more about bigger life skills, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a really big part of it. People can come who are of faith or not of faith. It is run by people of faith, and they're hoping to inspire really great character qualities through them.
For sure.
And the coolest thing about meeting you is that you actually ended up on that ship because of a story the story that I did on it that aired here on 100 Huntley Street, right? Your parents saw it and sent you, but you weren't really excited about that idea.
No, my brother and my parents said one day, "You guys are going to BC on a tall ship," and we're like, "No way, that's not a thing. That's not going to happen." And
how old were you?
I was, I think, summer going into grade 12. So, what are you, like 17 then?
Okay.
And at that point, everything my parents said was not what we wanted to do. So, but we went, and it was honestly the best experience I've ever had, and it's been addictive. I've gone back for the past 4 summers, and I can't get enough of it.
And you know, tell me what's so great about it, just so people can understand. Like, what was it that you love so much?
I love the fact that the crew kept asking us why. Why are you here? Why are you hanging out with us and coming to BC to do this? Why do you want to learn about sail handling, all that kind of stuff? And which forced us to get to know everybody else on the boat. So why am I the person that I am? And it just challenged me to look at my life and say, is this really who I want to be? And so that helped me alter some of the things and really get to know others on the boat and see that what they saw in me is my favorite part about me. And so I said, okay, if I'm who I am on the ship and I love that, then I'll take that back home with me and be that person there too.
And it also had an impact on your faith in God too. I mean, you grew up a Christian, but it wasn't always an easy Christian journey. Tell me a little bit about that.
No, so just, it's not the perfect relationship with God that I've had, but it's always been something that I've kind of questioned and had my doubts and all that kind of stuff. But with being on S.A.L.T.S, then the crew would always motivate us to be who we are, as I said. And we have one day on the boat each summer trip. On day 7, we call it Boat Sunday, and it's where we sing songs, and we have the crew, actually some of them give their testimony, and then we just have time after to reflect and to speak with others and do what we kind of look up at the stars and think about life. And when I was doing that, I was like, this is incredible. This is the place that I want to be, and clearly there's someone else out there that has had an impact on this world and has created it for us to live in this beautiful place. And I just, after that, I was like, okay, there's got to be something. So it's still not a perfect relationship with God, but it's something that I've worked on since 4 years ago when I stepped on that boat, and it's been incredible ever since then. And
you talked about some conversations that you guys had down on the hold that just kind of spontaneously started happening. Tell me about that.
So that was actually a really cool experience with my brother, John. He and his friends one night after Boat Sunday, he and them went downstairs and just started talking about their faith. And my brother is a Christian, and there was others on the boat that, whether atheist or confused or haven't decided yet or just didn't really know anything about it, we all just kind of filed into the hold and crammed in that small section and just all of a sudden started talking about where we were all at. And even though I was a struggling Christian or someone that just didn't quite know where I was at, then there was no judgment, there was nothing placed on that, and it was incredible to see that.
Just that freedom. That's one thing I really love about S.A.L.T.S. You know, you can come from any kind of background and there's no pressure to become like them, you know? But but it's very organic what happens over the week. Like even in the leadership kind of skills that you learn and learning about yourself, that really just happens kind of like automatically. Is that a good word?
Yes, for sure.
How does that happen?
Well, you're put into these groups when you get onto the boat, and you have, I think, roughly 6 or 7 other trainees that you're with, and you just have to be with them. There's no like, oh, can I switch to another group? I don't like this group. And you're just forced to eat with them. You are taking care of the boat. You do morning cleanup. You do night watch, which is sitting under the stars and making sure you're not dragging anchor for an evening for 1 hour. And so you kind of are with that person. You have to talk to them. And so when you are with them and you form those relationships with them, like you get deeper and you don't only focus on the surface level questions. You actually get to know that person, what their life is like back home, and you realize, okay, like this is really cool, all the people that I'm with. And once you break down your barriers, you can learn how to lead others and be that mentor for others on the boat as well.
Well, it's so amazing to see what being involved with them has done in your life. And thank you so much for coming here to tell us about it.
Thank you so much for having
It's so
me.
great to meet you. Someone who's been changed by watching this program, and maybe there's somebody watching today who wants to go and be a part of the program. I think you have to be under 25, right, Joanna?
Yes, yeah.
But if you want to find out more, you can go to S.A.L.T.S..ca. It might just change your life the way that it did Johanna's.